Alright, we got a game with a Saint on the left. Master is 1 on the right and across. We've got 1, 2, 3.5 blocks, let's say. Not exactly sure what the Sozu or the Pinzu are going to look like just yet, but we can find a pair somewhere in one of the shapes, right? This 6, 7, 8, 8 shape can turn into a pair with the... I guess we drop the west here, you could drop the 9 for Taiyao, for example. But we're gonna keep it. Right, so the 6, 7, 8, 8 shape can turn into a pair if we use the 8s as a pair, for example. Here, the pair could be the 5s, right? And then this would be a bad weight over here. If we don't see this as a pair plus a kanchan, though, we could also see it as a... Ooh boy, what is that? Do we drop the 9? I guess I don't really have a problem with that. There's a 6, 7, 8 Sanchoku, which is kind of nice-ish, sort of. Yeah, so if we don't see this as a pair plus a kanchan as it is now, we could see it as a penchan plus a complex block over here that can be a two-sided weight. But, well, yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with this shape. Because, like, I want to keep this Dora, considering our value is very bad without the Dora. But then the question is, okay, well, if you want to use the Dora, there's a whole bunch of these numbers that you can't use anymore because, well, there's one block over here, and then you can only make 4 blocks in the numbers. Here, we're just going to go ahead and drop the Dora now because it's safe against that player. We are 2 away from Tenpai if I believe I am correct. Yes. So, if we can get into Ishanten, a pretty good shape Ishanten, I guess we'll go ahead and push, considering we don't really have any safe tiles against this player anyways. Here, I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the 1 anyways, because we don't really have any safe tiles anyways. Whatever. It's on the edge as well, so it's like not the worst thing to drop. Now we've got a couple of safe tiles, so you could consider stopping on the north, but I think we're gonna drop it anyways. Not really sure though. South is safe, we'll drop it, I guess. Like, you could drop the 3, but also I want to be able to draw something around the 3. To use something around the 3 if we draw it. Here, the question is, okay, you can maybe get... You can take Ishanten by dropping a 3-pin, but... Also, I am not willing to chase the Richi if we draw into Tenpai because we have no value. So even if we drop the 3, we don't really have a pushable Ishanten. Alright. Well, enough of that. Let's just get into the next hand. Not sure what we're doing with this hand, to be honest, but when in doubt, drop an honor. The 1 is also pretty useless, but, well, we're still going to keep it. When in doubt, drop the honor. We're going to go ahead and drop the north here as well. Our shape is kind of, we're not really sure what's going on with it yet. But if we pair up the north, not north, what is that called again? Go on. Work, Moko. If we pair up the east, there we go, yes. Then we could potentially start calling. The only problem is that we don't really know where our pair is yet. So once we call, well, we're gonna need to find a pair somewhere. But well, shouldn't be too bad, I guess. We got the 3-6, which could turn into, which could make a pair for us. It could also turn into 2 sequence blocks. We're not really sure just yet. Looks like someone is calling. They might be flushing, which is a bit of a concern, especially considering that the Dora is in the Sozu. Here, I mean, I could chi this. Do I chi? Don't really have a problem with it, I guess. But also, it sort of loses our save tiles, which is kind of annoying. Like, I want to be able to drop the 9 against someone who calls Richi. It's not that big of a deal, though. You could G that if you want, I think. We also don't really know where our blocks are yet, so I kind of wanted to take a pass the G to just see where our blocks are. Okay, the dealer is called Richi, so we're going to go ahead and drop the 9. And I'm probably just going to fold. Because this hand is too far away. We're not going to get anywhere with it. Red should pass. Any other safe tiles that we can... Wait, is that just Jillian? No. Well, of course it's not Jillian. The 7 passed the previous turn. Yeah, I'm not really sure where our safe tiles are in the numbers. But, well, if the 5 passes, then we drop the 5. I don't want to drop the east if we can help it. Just because, well, it could deal in. Is that dealing in? It's getting pwned. It's not getting pwned. Not getting pwned. Well, there's a very high likelihood that the player to our right has 2 copies of the 6, which makes the 7 quite safe. That being said, we're still not going to drop it just yet. This one's pretty interesting. What do we do? Oh wait, the 1 is safe. It's not interesting at all. Yeah, the 8s are quite dangerous, sort of-ish, but they did drop the... What's it called? The dealer did drop the 6 sort of early. Not the 6, the 7 sort of early. Meaning that it shouldn't actually be that terrible of a thing to drop. It also can't deal into a Shampoo, for sure, because we see all of them. But, I mean, for the time being, we've got enough tiles anyways, so there's not really a point in dropping the 8s. I'm sort of wondering if there's any value in me cutting. Because if there is, then we can do that. As long as we have, safe tiles. And I mean, I don't really see a reason to, so we're not going to. Right, like, if we can right now, then we give the Haite to... We give the last draw to the player on the right, instead of the player across. And I'm, like, not really sure if that makes a difference. So I'm just not going to do it. When in doubt, don't can. But anyways. Fine. Looks like they're waiting on 2-5. That's fine. And now there's a stick on the board, which means that it will be a bit more... we should be a bit more incentivized to play for the win here. It means that if we win a 2,000 point hand, we will be in first place, I believe. That's pretty sweet. Here we're just going to go ahead and drop the north. 2,000 points is first, yes. Is that turning into a 4-win draw? Nope. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, you could drop the 1. I don't actually have a problem with that, but we're going to drop the south, considering it is 1's cut. The only pair for our hand right now is the 3-pin. Oh, well, now we've got green. Do we keep the green? I kind of want to keep the green. Then what do you do? Drop the 1? Sure, I guess. Yeah, okay. Because if we're pawning the white, we need to have a pair elsewhere anyways. And so that pair is the 3. And what this green is doing, sort of, is giving us the ability to maybe get a flush if we pair it up. Because then we've got 1, 2 blocks in the flush. Then we got this 6, 7, 7, 8 shape, which is 1.5 blocks. It's like 4.5 blocks in the flush. But now that we've got a good weight in the Zozu, we no longer go for the flush. The problem here is that, well, we are faced with a Ricci and no safe channels. So what you gonna do? Probably just drop the whites. Yeah. Not really sure how to advance the hand, but we'll see. I don't want to push anything too dangerous, or I don't want to have to push anything against this player. Yeah, we're just gonna drop the 2. At this point, if we're going to get into Senpai, it's probably just gonna be 7 pairs, but that's very unlikely. So we're just gonna go ahead and hold it out. Hope we don't deal in. Our hand wasn't really that good anyways, so I don't really regret this at all. And even though we were sort of drawing good tiles, I don't think our hand is still any good. To push. That being said, So we're in a bit of a trouble here. Tell you what. We're gonna drop the 6 because it's half Suji. And then we're gonna go ahead and drop the 3s. Because now it's real Suji. Yes. Yes. Don't deal in, please. Thank you. Yeah, so after pushing the 6, well, I mean, I say pushing. We're not pushing this hand. We're just trying to avoid the deal in. Oh boy. After dropping a 6, we get 3 more safe tiles. Well, they're not safe, but 3 more much safer tiles in the 3-pin. So dropping a 6 is pretty nice for that, even if... What? The flush is not so good, because we've got the pair of 1s here. So I'll tell you what, I guess we'll drop the cell. I think maybe dropping the 1-pin was better, though. I'm not really sure, though. Oh, whatever. Yeah, the flush is pretty nice here. Because, well, we've got 2 Yakai. We've got the Dora. But, well, whatever. This is definitely a pull. The question is, which floater do you drop? I think you could even consider dropping the 1. Just considering, no, don't drop the 1. Don't drop the 1. Never drop the 1. I was miscounting my blocks. Yeah, because if we want a 5th block in the flush, we need the 1. Because right now our blocks for the flush... We're not going to pull that. Okay, well, now that we've got a Lemon over here... Actually, we're still going to drop the 1, I think. Yeah. If we, again, draw something around the 1, we can get 5 blocks for the flush, which is a Mangan. It's very strong. Here we're just going to go ahead and call Pong, though. This is not Ishanden, because we still need a pair as well. But it's still good to Pong this, because, well, we've got 2 Yaku. If we pair up the Dora, that's also a Mangan, even if we do not get the flush. It's pretty strong like that. And the question is, really, was it worth... Ugh. I'm gonna cheat that. Was it worth it to drop the pair of 1s in order to look for the flush? I would say maybe. I'm not exactly sure. Generally, looking for value when you've got 2 Yakai is pretty strong. Looking for a way to make Mangan from an open hand is very good. Which is why I considered, or which is why I decided to drop the pair of 1s. But, you know, you could also say that maybe dropping the pair of 1s to keep the, flush was not good. Well, I think we're gonna do this one because it's a Mangan. Again, looking for a Mangan for an open hand is very good. Is the question between a 6 tile weight versus a 3 tile weight. The 6 tile weight is much, much cheaper, right? It's 2,900 points. 3,900 if we sumo. But this way we get 12,000. 116 if we roam, whatever. Don't really matter. And that's a huge difference. So we're gonna do it like this. That is all really... Oh, nice. 12,000. Again, 116, but same thing. Close enough. And this significantly increases our placement odds. This is very, very good. Alright, well, let's keep on going. Here we've got 4 blocks for the flush, so guess what we're gonna do again? I mean, you could drop the 5, to be honest, but I'm just gonna drop the 1-pin. You could even drop the 5, because we also have 4 pairs, and getting 7 pairs is pretty nice as well. That being said, I'm probably just gonna pawn everything. So it's just like, whatever. It's not really that important. Just considering that, if we draw something around the... Draw something around the 6, we get enough blocks for the flush. I don't really want to do that, to be honest, but whatever, I'll do it. We can't even pawn and take the tanki, or the green, for example, right? The reason why pawning the 4 is kind of sad is because we have a chance to end up on a Honitsu Nomi. No, as in, what is it? A no Yaku Honitsu. I say no Yaku. Like, Honitsu that is 2 Han. Right? And that's kind of cheap. It's a little sad. Like, if we draw the 7, for example, we'd be waiting on 5-8 for Honitsu Nomi. But, well, whatever. As the dealer, it's still 3,900 points, which is pretty decent, right? As the non-dealer, 3,900 good weight is still plenty great. Here, we've got a Hanuman, so we're gonna probably push everything, and also considering we've got not a lot of ways to defend, yeah, there's not really any... we're sort of forced to push. But it's okay. I mean, with this hand, people should be very scared of us, considering, well, we basically have confirmed 18,000 on the board. So it's like, oh, well, okay. Whoa. What is that? Oh, nice. That's a pretty nice hand. But yeah. Anyone who is willing to push into this must have a very good hand. And, well, it's pretty unlikely for someone to have a hand that is good enough to fight against a dealer... what it's called? Dealer Hanuman. So, yeah. I mean, if they fold, that's plenty good for us as well. Either way, it's all last. Stop with the yapping. We need to figure out what to do with this hand. Well, we want to win, because if we win, we are in first place. If the player to our left wins, we're probably in the clear because it's relatively unlikely for them to have enough to win. They need to sumo a Mangan. It's a little tough for them to do that, unless they've got 3 Dora, for example. So yeah, I don't really need to mind the player to our left, I think. However, the dealer, if they reach and sumo something, there's a very high likelihood that we lose. Oh no! That we lose our first place. So yeah, we kind of need to be a bit aggressive against the dealer. That being said, they've already called Ricci, so it's gonna be pretty difficult. We'll see. If we have to, we'll fold, because, you know, dealing into a Mangan loses, what's it called, gets us all the way down to 3rd place, which is not good. But, well, you know, if we end up drawing nicely, we might consider pushing. As for defending against last place, I mean, I guess we can do that as well. What do I do? I want to push. Moko wants to push here. Problem is, like, after pushing, we need to push so many more tiles. Probably should have just dropped the 3-zo. And it's probably not very realistic for us to do that. So, yeah. I mean, we should probably just give up. Drop the 3. So, is that Toy Toy? It might be. Well, either way, the 2-man is safe. Toy Toy probably doesn't drop a pair of 9s. So what is that? I mean, it could still be Toy Toy. They kind of need value. Could be pair of the Dora. That would be Tanyo plus, you know, 3 Dora. 4 is safe for the time being. I mean, I'm trying to read through their hand and all that, but since we have Genbutsu, 100% safe talents, we don't really need to worry about you know, anything really. That is a very curious drop. I guess we'll copy the Dora. But yeah, if they don't have the Mangan, then they're kind of screwed, right? There's no way for them to get a Blast. The only hope that they can get is... Oh, well, okay. Okay. Very nice. That's fine. Yeah, the only hope that they could get is maybe that the dealer gets Tenpai, or the dealer doesn't win and it goes to Tenpai, goes to draw. But fine, we've got another chance to grasp first, so let's try and do it. The dealer is much closer to us now, so we need to be that much more aggressive. Yes. We've got 4 blocks per Taiyo, so that is definitely something that we would like to head for. Calling right now is possible. Like, we could cheat the 7 so I think. That being said, doing that without knowing where our pair is yet, or where our blocks are yet, is a little bit sad. But now that we've drawn the 7, we can see this 6 as a floater. That's a bit easier for us to call. I don't think I'll cheat that. Yeah. Now we got 4 pairs. But the problem is, if we're trying to head for Tenpai, 7 pairs is really terrible, so we're just not going to do that. Pawn. Yeah, sure, we'll pawn. Going for Taiyo. Just call our bad shapes. Calling the good shape is possible as well. It really is. But well, whatever. Here, well, white still has the lowest acceptance out of our floaters. So we'll drop it. You might be wondering, this hand is going to have a really terrible time folding. And yes, that is true. But I don't really need to fold against that many players, I think. So I don't really have a problem with this at all. Here the question is whether we drop the 2 or like one of these other 2s. Not really sure which one is best to drop, to be honest, but I guess we'll go with this 2. I kind of like this 2 because number 1, it's safe against a couple of people, and that is nice not just for defending, but also for pushing, because it is getting kind of late, and if one of these guys gets in Tenpai, I would like to be able to push with a safe tile in our hand. And number 2, the numbers around the bottom over here are actually pretty strong. Like, if we draw the 4, for example, like that, we're in a pretty good spot. I think the 3 has we have a high chance of being able to call the 3. In my opinion, because we see 3 5s. This player has dropped the 1 early, which means that 3 is a little bit more likely to be in the wall. So yeah. I kind of like keeping this too. There's a Ricci coming from the, what's it called? From last place. That being said, I'm not really sure what to think about them because they did do some very sus plays in the previous round. So I kind of don't expect them to have enough points to win. Now that the player to our left has a Darbon, I'm kind of not so happy to sort of push, but well, we'll see. Because if we do deal into them, right, we probably go into, not probably, we go into 3rd place, which is not so great. And since the player across of us, you know, even though they might not have enough points to take it home, they're in Tenpai, which means that our win rate is pretty low. Because if we deal in, we can't win. So yeah, it's probably about time to give up. Especially considering that if the dealer folds, we will have 1st place. So I don't really need to win here. As long as these two don't. Or as long as the player to our left doesn't, I should say. I think the most safe tile in our hand is the 9. Might be wrong. Don't deal him, please. Thank you. Is there a better one there? Eh, whatever. I don't really feel like thinking. Next up is the 4 pin, of course. That was a push, though. So they might beat him by. That would be kind of annoying. Was it a push? I think that was a push, right? Oh, whatever. We don't have enough draws left. We don't have a lot of draws left, so we don't really need to think so hard. Great. Next turn, we can probably just drop in Honor. That'll be great. Is that a sumo? That's a sumo. Yeah, okay, they didn't have enough points. Whoa. Okay, Mangan. But yeah, we did end up getting first place. Which is sweet. We'll take it. Alright. Hopefully we get back up to base soon. Eventually. Yes. Either way, see you guys next time.